as you're finding deals, you're going through due diligence of what deals you're going to say yes to, no to. What role of sharing the story or the criteria is important for the investor? How much do they need to know? Because most first-time investors, or they're looking to get the real estate, this might be overwhelming for them. And so they're going to take more of a passive investor role, like you kind of started out. And so, when they're trying to figure out on what investor to invest with, trusting them, like you said, but what are things that, helps tell the story for them to say, yes, let me go ahead and invest?
I think it really comes down to, what makes me invest with people, and that's really the sponsorship team. And so if they like, know, and trust you and believe in you and say, this person has run $30 million businesses, so running a 15 or 20 or $25 million asset, and has had that experience, it's going to be pretty easy for them. So I think that story resonates well with people. And I think also we really try to kind of the motto of Wall Street ethics, or sorry, Eagle Scout ethics with Wall Street analytics. I mean, that's something we really want to bring to our investors. So from a standpoint of just being very transparent around the risks of the transaction, the mitigants of the transaction, the things that we like about it, but really being there to answer any questions. And, frankly, if there were people that, like I was mentioning the story of this one person that said, I want to be in and out in a year, I'd say, this is not the right investment for you. And happy to, kind of point you in a different direction, but, I'm just not your person. So, I think we feel pretty confident that, we're in this for the long haul. So, just getting a quick win by inviting that person into our deal doesn't really help us. It hurts us. And so we really want to make sure that we're building a loyal fan base, and that word of mouth is so much more powerful than us, being on any podcast that we could be on or doing anything else.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I think just for, class today, I think you've helped out on just finding the right deal for you, the foundational criterias that, everyone should probably look at. Then you got some specific and what makes sense for you. What is your goal in these next, 5 years, as you want to scale, build your team? Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Yeah, I mean, we definitely want to buy the right assets at the right price, great locations, kind of all the criteria that I mentioned, and, have a solid portfolio that's performing well, and, continue to build the team so that, hopefully one day we can get it to a point where there's some more vertical integration, whether that's on the property management side or, construction side or so forth, so that we can be, more nimble and more confident in the acquisition strategy. So, building that core presence in key areas is really a foundational goal for us.
Yeah. Are you looking to have your own property management team manage your properties?
We would start with third-party management until we get to a certain scale, I think is where it makes sense. Or, conversely, if it were a smaller asset and we can wet our feet with that, I think that makes sense. So it's kind of those barbells of, really small asset, self-manage it to get to, 1,000+ units and then do it. But, I guess fundamentally, if you have the right third-party property management, and I've, met people that have, and, we've experienced it with some good third-party property managers, then it works really well. And it's just, fundamentally, I think I'm always at this point of, no one cares about your money and your kids and your properties as much as you do. So that's something that, is just a little bit hard for me to shake.
Yeah, I had, Robert Martinez on, and he says,
Sure.
Don't go third party. And kind of the same thing as you said, like nobody is going to care about your property as much as you.
Absolutely.
And I think that's a struggle from an investor standpoint.